Consider a civilization so evolved but mysterious that even after thousands of years, we have yet to uncover all of its secrets. A society that covered more than 1,000,000 square kilometers, constructed massive cities, perfected urban planning, and traded with the ancient world's outer reaches. But who were they? What were their daily lives like? And what caused their precipitous decline? Today, we'll take a journey through time to learn about the Indus Valley Civilization, South Asia's oldest and most mysterious civilization. We'll delve deeply into the emergence and fall of this ancient culture, as well as the lives of its inhabitants, in an attempt to solve the mystery that has perplexed historians. So what did the Indus Valley Civilization really look like? And why did it disappear? Setting the stage, the cradle of civilization. A remarkable society emerged around 5,000 years ago in the rich floodplains of the Indus River. The Indus Valley Civilization, also known as the Harappan Civilization, originated circa 3,300 BCE in what is today Pakistan and northwest India. But this wasn't simply a tiny group of settlements. The civilization expanded to include bustling cities, sophisticated trading networks, and an economy that matched the greatest ancient powers of the time. The Indus Valley stretched from the Arabian Sea to the Himalayan foothills, as well as from modern-day Afghanistan to Gujarat. This region's landscape was as diverse as its people, ranging from harsh deserts to lush woods, resulting in a vast range of lifestyles and economic practices. The Indus people took advantage of their surroundings, cultivating lush areas, domesticating animals, and building intricate irrigation networks. One of the most notable features of ancient civilization was its urban planning. Harappa, Mohenjo-Daro, Dholavira, and other cities were precisely planned before being built. Wide streets, public baths, granaries, and even early drainage systems were common features of Indus urban life. The sheer magnitude and accuracy of their construction indicate that these were not just towns, but bustling metropolises. Who were the Indus people? But who were they? What was their life like? While archaeology has helped to reconstruct much of the Indus Valley's history, there are still significant gaps in our understanding, most notably because its alphabet, known as the Indus script, has yet to be decoded. We do know that this was an incredibly varied culture. The majority of Indus people lived in small villages, farming and keeping cattle, but others lived in larger, more complicated cities. In cities such as Mohenjo-Daro, artists created stunning jewelry, pottery, and sculptures. The economy was primarily reliant on trade, which extended far beyond the region to Mesopotamia, modern-day Iran, and even Central Asia. But life was more than just trade and skill. Evidence from city design implies a strong sense of community. The spectacular Great Bath of Mohenjo-Daro, a vast public facility that may have been used for ritual cleaning or social gatherings, provides insight into the Indus people's spiritual lives. Despite the grandeur of their cities, the Indus Valley Civilization was notable for its egalitarianism. There are no palaces or monuments to monarchs, huge sculptures of rulers, or conquests. This shows that power was not concentrated in the hands of a single king or privileged class, but rather distributed more fairly throughout society. The rise of cities, Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro. Let's focus on two of the most famous cities, Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro. These cities were hundreds of kilometers apart, but they had a common culture and style of urban planning. What set them apart was not only their size, but also their organization. The streets were built out in a grid system, which was centuries ahead of its time. There were residential areas, artisan workshops, and market spaces, all precisely designed. Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro also had sophisticated drainage systems, including channels that moved waste away from residences and public spaces. This shows a civilization that valued sanitation and public health, a concept that would not become widespread in many parts of the world for millennia. Even more remarkable is how these cities functioned. There is scant indication of military or defensive constructions. The cities do not appear to have been established with the intention of providing protection against invaders. Some archaeologists believe that the Indus people lived in relative peace, relying on trade and cultivation rather than conquest. Seals, small, delicately carved objects, were widely used in Harappan culture. These seals were used to mark products for commerce, and they featured animals and symbols that may symbolize names or goods. However, because we can't understand the Indus writing, the true meaning of these seals is still one of the civilization's biggest mysteries. Innovation and trade, the lifeblood of the Indus Valley. As the Indus cities expanded, so did their demand for resources. The people of the Indus Valley were master traders with huge networks extending as far as Mesopotamia. They exchanged rare jewels, beads, pottery, and metals, as well as cotton, one of the world's oldest fabrics. What impressed me the most was their adaptability and innovation. They developed superior metallurgy skills, using copper, bronze, lead, and tin to make tools, ornaments, and weaponry. The discovery of lapis lazuli, a deep blue gemstone, at Indus sites implies they had access to mines as far as Afghanistan, which is almost 1,000 kilometers away. In addition to luxury products, the Indus people excelled in agriculture. They were pioneers in sustainable farming using intercropping, a way of growing diverse crops together to balance the soil's nutrients. This strategy allowed them to increase produce without depleting their land, and modern farmers still utilize it today. Cultural life and mysterious beliefs. How about their culture and beliefs? This is where things get much murkier. Unlike Egypt and Mesopotamia, the Indus Valley Civilization did not leave majestic temples or treasure-filled tombs. Their religion and belief systems are mostly unknown, despite hints in the artifacts left behind. The famed priest-king monument from Mohenjo-Daro features a bearded person in a meditative stance, which is generally seen as a symbol of spiritual or religious authority. Other seals and sculptures depict animals, trees, and humans in stances that some researchers attribute to early types of yoga or meditation. One of the most contentious pieces of evidence is a seal depicting a man seated in a yogic pose, surrounded by animals. Some have regarded this figure as an early portrayal of the Hindu god Shiva, while others say that this is very speculative, as Shiva did not appear in the religious pantheon until much later. This seal is one of many that suggests sophisticated spiritual practices involving nature, animals, and reproduction rituals. Despite these indicators, the paucity of written documents means that much of their religious life remains shrouded in mystery. The enigma of the Indus script. The Indus Valley civilization's undeciphered writing is perhaps its most mysterious aspect. This writing, found on seals, pottery, and amulets, is made up of pictographs, which are symbols that most likely represent words or sounds. However, unlike Egyptian hieroglyphs or Mesopotamian cuneiform, no bilingual text has been discovered to aid in cracking the code. We do know that this writing system was not purely decorative. It most likely served an important function in trade, governance, or religious life. Some researchers believe it may represent an early type of writing, while others say it is a sophisticated system of symbols rather than a complete script. Until this writing is decoded, a significant piece of the Indus people's history remains hidden, waiting for someone to unveil its secrets. The mysterious decline. What happened to the Indus Valley Civilization? Around 1900 BCE, something changed. The mighty cities of Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro started to decline. Over the following centuries, the once thriving civilization began to unravel. But why? There are various theories, in each presenting a different picture. Some believe climate change had a substantial impact. Studies suggest that monsoon patterns shifted, resulting in droughts that might have decimated the Indus people's agricultural basis. Without constant water, the cities could have been abandoned as people moved to more fertile areas. Others argue that a steady decline in trade networks, combined with political or social upheaval, may have contributed to the civilization's collapse. Then there's the hypothesis that Indo-Aryan people invaded and damaged the Indus towns, according to some scholars. However, there is little proof of widespread violence, so this is hypothetical. Whatever the cause, by 1300 BCE, the major towns of the Indus had been completely abandoned. The remaining inhabitants dispersed into smaller, rural villages, and the once great civilization sank into obscurity. The legacy of the Indus Valley Civilization. The Indus Valley Civilization may have vanished, but its legacy lives on. Many of the technology and customs created by the Indus people, including urban,